All right, so what's up, guys? Today we're here with Ben. I wanted to have a conversation with him and talk about his recent success with Blue Guardian Futures. He just recently received a $1,500 payout from us. He also is right on the verge of requesting another. So I think it's really valuable to talk to traders that are having success with us and kind of see how they're finding consistency and value in the funding. So I'd love to hear more about your journey, what you've been doing to find this consistency. Um, but yeah, man, nice to meet you and congrats on all the recent success.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's been quite a hard time, getting to this payout. Not gonna lie, it was a roller coaster road for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not easy, but once you get there and you find that, consistency, it's so worth it. We were just talking
Yeah,
before. It you learn so much about yourself from trading and your flaws as a person. It makes you a better man, Becoming a better trader, you in turn become a better person off the charts. So it's really cool.
yeah, yeah. That's 100% right. Because every time, see, when I look at trading, it is like you are kind of fighting yourself, the inner demons within you, right? So that's the reason 99% people fail in it, because it you can easily fight a person who is visible to your eyes, but
Mm,
not the one who is 10 steps ahead of you. So that's the trouble everyone goes through. I still go through them, but one step at a time I'm getting better. And
mm,
when I started trading, it has actually made me a different person, because back then I was very impulsive. I never look at the cons of making up a decision. But once I started becoming profitable, before taking any decision, I weigh them, the pros and cons. Is the pros stacked against me, or is the cons stacked against me? And
mm.
then I drive to a decision. And this had made me avoid so many problems in life. And it has actually turned out to be good. I'd say 100% that's the best ever decision that I took in my recent time, or in my entire life put together.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about like the journey, like how you got into it and how you got to where you're at, and yeah, just any
Yeah.
details about how you got here.
Sure, sure, sure. So this is going to be an interesting story. I'm not gonna. I don't really know whether you're gonna feel me or not, but right, I'm not from a very well settled family. So I'm a broke boy, and basically I'm from India, and then my mom is the only person who puts the bread and butter on the table.
Mm,
So she was making around $120, to be very precise. $150 was the entire income she made for a month. So I need to live off of that. I need to pay my rent. Like, I lived with my mom, so she takes care of myself and my dad and all
mm,
of that. So right from there, right out of college, I got a job, and my first salary was somewhere around $130. This was back in 2020. And then I caught my eyes on Bitcoin. So that's the first thing that I looked upon. I had no clue about what is trading. I didn't even know something existed like that. So from there, out in random, I started buying crypto. There was a coin called ADA Cardano.
mm.
So it was priced somewhere around, in Indian rupees. I'm based out of India. So in Indian rupees, it was based at 80 rupees. So that's roughly, give or take, back at that time, $1.5.
Mm-hmm.
So I work in a sales job. So I stacked up three of my paychecks together, and then I dumped it on that coin without knowing anything at all. I didn't have any money to eat. I was literally sleeping on the floor because I didn't even have a mattress to sleep upon. That's how broke I was. I
Jeez.
didn't. I only had like two pairs of shirt and then two
Mm-hmm.
pairs of pants. That's it.
Wow.
So without knowing anything, I bought the coin, and out of luck, I made so much money on that. So that one coin, I bought the coin for $1.50, and then I sold the coin at roughly around $3
Mm,
each. So I kind of made like maybe I'd say my pay stub at that point was $300, $400 from my third month, because since I was in a sales job, all the commissions coming in $300, $400. I dumped up like $1,000 on that, and then I made really good money. So
mm,
from there, I started investing on stocks. That's when I started actually learning about businesses, how everything goes on, because I was so tired of being broke.
mm.
The only thing that I wanted was my mom to, take a step back and then sit on her couch and then watch TV. That's what I wanted my mom to do. And the only way to make her do that is by me putting the bread and butter on the table, right? So from there, I started, looking at companies, and again, I had no knowledge about what trading was. But logically speaking, I was just thinking and hoping that companies like Apple, Microsoft would never go down,
Mm.
because if they crumble, the economy crumbles, because they employ close to 100,000 people, each
Mm.
of them around the globe, right? So everybody will lose job, and then it's going to be a mess. So I dumped my other part of life savings, which I was actually earning, right? All the commissions that I come in, I give my mom $100, and then I put everything there on the stock. So I was building my equity portfolio in the US. So it was pretty good. Right around 2022, that's when I found my girl. I fell in love with her, and I was around 23 years old. She is from a very, very settled family. So back here in India, the culture is, if you need to get married to a person who is like tenfold ahead of you financially, the only way they let you marry her is you becoming 10x bigger than them.
Mm.
So at that point, once I was like, okay, I need to get married to her. Somewhere around the part of 2022, mid of 2022, that's when I actually started trading. So that's when I started with options,
Mhm.
buy the call, sell the puts.
Yeah.
That strategy. That's where it started. But again, it was not the NASDAQ, S&P 500, or the QQQ. It was Indian options.
Uh-huh.
So that's where I started. Again, I lost all my savings over there. And then from there, the first month, I lost around $500. I was making $500 right at that point. My entire salary went out. And then the second month, again, I lost another $500. And the third month, I had no money to lose. I still had my equity right there, the money that I parked on equity,
Mhm.
right? So the rest of the money was gone. So I took a step back. I actually kind of didn't sleep for a couple of weeks. And I wanted to learn it, because every single money that I made was washed away.
Mhm.
So I kind of figured out a strategy, and then on the third month, I made $1,500, and then I was hospitalized because I didn't sleep, I didn't eat properly, I didn't do
Yeah.
any of that, and then my hospital bills were stacked up against me. So from there, prop firms came in, because Instagram somehow knows whatever reels that you like, and then
Yeah.
they somehow pop up
Yeah.
that
Targeted by
kind of
ads.
advertisements.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like somebody's listening to me, bro.
Yeah.
So that's when prop firms came into the picture. Again, started with currency, had no clue about what was a base currency, what was a code currency. I didn't even know what was GU, bro.
Mhm.
I just knew GBP USD was something that I can trade. Hit the buy button, hit the sell button. And then did that, lost $55,000 of my own money. So I ended up in negative $55,000 in debt,
Mhm.
maxed out all my credit cards, my American Express, my all the banks that is available in India. I had credit cards with every one of them, because I was doing very good professionally, and then I was making big money coming in. Since it's a sales job, you get commissions, right?
Mhm.
So I kind of maxed out all my credit cards, had nothing more to do. And that's when I found ICT. That's what I trade right now. I know this is going to be, a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but yeah, I trade ICT Concepts. And that's
Mhm.
when my girl also broke up with me. She dumped me because I was a loser. Now when I look at it, it's like, it's a, it's quite funny when I look at it. But yeah, that's when everything, flipped.
So when did you start implementing ICT concepts? You said you started trading, was it middle of 2022, you said?
Yeah, in 2022, middle of 2022, I started with ICD, and then 2023, when my girlfriend dumped me, that's when I went. 2022, I started doing ICT, and then I made all the money back that I lost. It's just like 3, 4 payouts. Back at the time, TFT was there, and then all the big prop firms was there, right? I don't want to name any one of them, but all of them were paying jacks up. Just the my forex funds went down. So apart from that, I was taking hefty payouts with everyone, and then I was at profitable. Like I came up from negative $55,000, and then I stacked up my live account. All of that stuff happened, and my girlfriend dumped me on September 15th, 2023. That's a Friday, and September 18th, pre-Asia. That's basically 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. I lost all my funding. I lost my live account, which had somewhere around $25,000 in it. Everything gold, over leveraged, done, dusted.
Mhm.
I was broke again.
You got emotional.
And yeah, I didn't even know what I was doing, bro. That's how
Yeah.
I was again. I used to buy a challenge and then blow it off within 5 minutes. My credit card, I only realized I maxed out my credit card when the card actually declined.
Yeah. That's
So
crazy.
every single challenge that I bought was 200K or 100K. It roughly cost me around $500 to $1,000 each evaluation, and then I used to blow them up like 5 minutes. Max leverage gold done. Max leverage Nasdaq done. Max leverage EU GU commissions, spread slippage. Everything was stacked against me. I lost all of it, and then I was into depression, suicidal. All of that stuff also happened.
So, from the beginning of your trading journey, once you really started, how long did it take you to find that profitability and consistency? Would you say?
Yeah. Well, it was a roller coaster ride for me because I didn't have my emotions straight until that point. I took medical advice and then I checked with my therapist, and then my therapist advised me to do a certain set of things. Don't dwell on the past because I never processed any sort of emotions. I was just stacking up every single emotion, and then when this girl dumped me, all of that exploded like a volcano. So my therapist said the only way to fix it is to let it run its cycle. So she told me to focus on not trading because I was not emotionally stable at that point, and then slowly pick it up again because by that time I knew how to trade and I was profitable. All I need to do was step out of the
Detach.
screen, yeah, get detached, take the ego out, because the only thing that I wanted in my life was that girl. And when she walked out, none of that made sense. None of anything made sense. So it took me some time to accept it. And then, yeah, again, my funded future started. I believe I was one of the very first customers with them. And then I was with Top Step. And then, again, stacked up a lot of payouts, came in gunslinging. So that was good. The only place where I had trouble was trying to backtest and figure out my module. Like every trader needs a module, every trader needs a strategy. So this is what I teach to all my students who follows me right now. I tell them you need to figure out your model, and you cannot replicate my model. You cannot trade what I trade because
Exactly.
this module is built for me. It's like a
Personally to
custom fit,
you.
bro. It doesn't fit for you. My fit
Exactly.
doesn't fit for you, and yours doesn't fit for me. And that was quite haunting to figure that out, because when other people told me this, I was like, yo, bro, stop capping. If you don't want to share it, don't share it, bro.
Yeah.
But when I was put up at a situation where I need to figure that out myself by not going into parties, not going into clubs, sitting in the in my place, in my house, back testing, figuring it out, that was a lot. Even when I look back, damn, it's a long journey, bro.
I think that's the hardest part about trading, honestly, because
Yeah,
there's edges out there, there's models out there, but it's such a personal thing. My brain fires different than your brain fires. I have different flaws and
yeah,
personality traits than you, and you have to take the edge and make it personal to you to find that consistency, and you have to do things to kind of suppress your flaws as a person. And yeah, like you said, until you were able to detach, you weren't going to be profitable. Like, you had to find that sense of detachment. It's almost a paradox because once you stop caring about trading, you start to do well trading. It's funny.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. That's 100%. Definitely agree to. It's moreover like the food that you order on menu. Profitability. There are a lot of strategies that's on the menu. You
Mm-hmm.
just need to pick which works for you, and how do you pick it? You try each one of them multiple times, and then figure out what you like, and then stick to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody does that, and even I didn't do that until I went hell broke.
And you have to build
That was,
conviction, and that's the other thing. I think
yeah,
everyone hops around shiny object, but you need real conviction in the model,
the
and that comes from
shiny object
reps.
syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't have conviction in what you're doing, then the next model is gonna take your attention,
Yeah,
and you go into drawdown. Oh, new model, and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, when I in fact did that. My module had 70% win rate. So when you do the math, when I put out three trades, I might get first three as negative, right? First three might run negative. That's the probability of how statistics is going to work when you put it on math. So every time I took three losses in a row, I switched my strategy. So I started out from retail concepts, how they say, like the bull flag trading,
Mm-hmm.
the chart patterns. I did that, didn't work. lost a lot of money, and then I moved to support resistance. I used to buy it every support, higher time frame support.
Hmm.
Did that, didn't work, and then I thought, oh, all right, oh, every time I go long on a maybe a 15-minute support, I just take a loss. So what if I short it? Yes, it did work for 2 trades, but when I took 3 losses in a row, again, instead of going long on a support, I used to short the support. It gave me good win rate, but I was not patient enough to handle 3 losses in a row. So from there, switched it, and then I was trading smart money concepts, which everybody does right now. The supply demand, that the holy grail everybody says.
Hmm.
Wait for a supply, wait for a liquidity grab. Oh my god, you have no clue how much advertisements that come up on my Instagram feed. Everybody is teaching that.
Yeah.
And I did that, didn't work. I was broke. So before this, I stumbled upon ICT Concepts on his YouTube, but that guy used to blabber a lot, bro. Like
Hmm.
he used to, he it was like me watching some sort of documentary, and he used to rant a lot. I specifically avoid all of his lecture before trying all of the other strategies. But when none of that worked, one of my friend, I still remember him. My friend, this guy's name is Tim. He's from Germany. So I met him in a random Discord. He told me to look at ICT Concepts and then look at 2022 mentorship. He told me it's going to be boring. Accept it. Trading is boring. He was in fact 3 years younger to me. My ego was stacked up like in the sky to take an advice from a guy who's 3 years younger to me. But God bless him. So he advised me, and then I was like, fuck it, this is my last try. I'm going to try whether it's going to work or not. And all of this happened during 2022.
Okay.
So I, again, countless hours on listening to his lecture, Inner Circle Trader, Michael Huddleston. Shout out to him. It's only because of him I'm profitable. Again, people trade ICT in very various ways, in very different ways. People think that this is a pattern. No, it's the logic on how market moves.
Exactly. The narrative.
That's how I perceive it. That is my perspective on it. ICT is like a book. Every chapter has its own contents inside it. You understand it, and then these are dots that's on a map that leads to profitability. You need to connect the dots by yourself. You cannot just randomly follow somebody and then take their trades and then make it win. It's not going to work. You need to put in the work. And that's how I started 2022 mentorship. So back at that time, I didn't even know what was an intermediate term low or short term swing low. And I didn't even know what was a breaker. I used to think like, failure swings were breaker, technical parts. But when I look back, wow, I'm happy with myself.
So what is your exact trading strategy? I know you said you trade ICT Concepts, but what is the model?
Yeah.
Kind of break down the nitty gritty of the strategy, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. So ICT says time is fractal. Price is fractal. So what do I mean by fractal? Is basically if something is happening on the daily time frame, exact same thing is going to happen on the 5-minute time frame. You just need to know it good enough to realize that, okay, this is what is happening. Yeah. So ICT says price is fractal. When I say price is fractal, whatever is happening on the daily time frame that's exactly what's going to print on the 1 minute one time frame, like the 1 minute time frame. You just need to know what you're looking for, or else it's definitely not going to make sense. So when you look at it, when you say price is fractal, then definitely time is also fractal. What do I mean by time is fractal? Irrespective of whatever strategy you use, you're just going to trade one candle. It's the daily candle. If you are a trader who trades intraday, you're just going to take one candle. Either you're going to short it, or you're going to long the market, or you're going to sell the market, but it's just one candle. And if you are a weekly trader, like if you swing it, it's going to be like a weekly candle. That's what you're going to trade. So all I did was, map out which session I'm going to trade, because it is very, very important to know which asset to trade on which session. Right now, I trade the NQ on the New York session because it is a New York asset. There is no reason for me to trade a New York asset in London. So when I cut it out in that way, all I have to do is figure out which one candle that I'm going to trade in the New York session. A session is 6 hours, which has 6 candles, 6 1-hour candles. When you break down a session, it is 6 1-hour candles put together. So in 6 1 hour candles, I specifically concentrate on the 10 a.m. candle. All I have to do, the 4 hour candle for 10 a.m., all I have to do is figure out where that high or low is going to be printed. Because when you look at time, the 4 hour candle opens right at 10 a.m. and then the candle closes right at 2 p.m. So that's 4 hours. So somewhere in between these 4 hours is where the high or low of the candle is going to be printed. So once I figure that out, all I have to do is position myself to the opposing side. Let's say if I'm looking for longs, what I would usually do is I will anticipate and I will expect the 4 hour candle, the 10 a.m. candle, to come and make a low. And where this low has to be, it has to be at some sort of key level, maybe an order block or a fair value gap or an imbalance, some sort of key level. And it needs to take liquidity. When you correlate assets like NASDAQ and ES together, you will see SMT. So all the ICT traders will know what I'm talking about. So all I have to do is wait for that one 10 a.m. candle to come down, sweep liquidity. Once it is done, just trade the opposing side of the bias. Let's say if I'm looking for longs, I expect the market to come down, because if everybody can, get onto a train and knows where it's going to go, nobody will win. And trading is a zero-sum game. So someone has to lose, only then you're going to win. In order for me to win, let's say I trade distribution of a 4 hour candle, then there has to be manipulation. So when the market dumps like 50, 60 points, people will go panic sell it, but I'll be patiently waiting for me, because as long as it comes down, I'm super happy because I'm going to get inside the trade at a very discounted price, and then my range is going to be extremely high. So I will wait for a liquidity sweep with an SMT at the lows if I'm going long, or an SMT at the highs if I'm going short, and then look for confirmations, and then I apply any ICT trading module. It's going to work, whether it's fair value gap or an order block or a change in the state of delivery. Every single strategy is going to work only if you know where liquidity is. Liquidity is how market moves. If you don't know the liquidity, you will become the liquidity. So I was the liquidity for a lot of time, lost a lot of money. So I decided to wait patiently until the market turns. Once it turns, I go in with a decent amount of risk, catch 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, come out, be a happy man. So that is the strategy part.
It's like a 10 a.m. power 3 type of model. And
10 a.m. exactly 10 a.m. power 3.
Is it just NAS or what instruments?
NASDAQ and ES, those are twin sisters. You got to look at both of them at the same time. There is no way you're going to understand NASDAQ alone, or there's no way you're going to understand ES alone. You got to look at it both of them together.
It adds so much color having the S&P and NASDAQ together. One can take a major liquidity objective, and the other can just...
exactly. That's what even happened today, if you look at it. So all you have to do is just wait for it, and then let's say, to make it very easy, stay on the 15-minute time frame. If you're looking for longs, wait for one of the assets to take out some sort of major liquidity pool. Let's say a 4-hour fair value gap aligns with 15-minute time frame. So when a 4-hour fair value gap is swept, that candle has to close above the 4-hour fair value imbalance. Let's say this is the imbalance, is the box that you put in, and then the candle goes right inside it, and then that 15-minute candle should close above it. It should not close inside. If it closes above the bullish fair value gap, that signifies there is a lot of rejection. So when rejection happens, it is the first point to see reversal. And then from a 15-minute candle closure, go into a 5-minute candle, 5-minute time frame, wait for the lowest point of that 15-minute candle, and then let another bullish candle close above it. Just go along, put the stop at the swing low. Easy to R. Easy to R. All you have to do is just wait. And that's where a lot of people fail. Even I did fail sometimes, waiting for that one particular trade. This works super fine. If there is S&P, man, just up the risk, bro. It's going to work.
So do you target a static 2R? Do you target beyond 2R? Like, is it a 2R minimum? You take partials and go beyond 2? Or is it everything off at 2? How do you approach the trade management?
Yeah, that's a very good question again. So Technical analysis is a whole different ball game. Trade management and money management are two different ball games.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people ask me whether I take partials, and a lot of people I know are also taking partials. But when you do the math, let's say you are placing a trade and then you're risking 1 hour to make 2 hour, but you're taking partials in between the way. So when the trade finally hits 2 hour, you would have only made 1.5 hour or 1.25 hour, right? Because you took partials in between. And then when you take a full loss, it's going to be a negative 1 hour. So I always advise people, if you're taking partial profits, you need to take partial losses. Only then, theoretically, you will be profitable on the book. Excuse me, on the paper. Only if you're profitable on the paper, you can apply it on the charts as well. So when it comes to my strategy, I take it up at majority of my position at 2 hour, and then I'll leave my runners to the draw on liquidity. Sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
So yeah, the majority of my position comes at 2 hour or the nearest swing point close to 2 hour. Let's say if it's 2.5, I take it out. If it's lesser than 2, then I'll never take it out because it's not worth it. If it's something lesser than 2, then do not take the trade. That's how it is.
All right, so we heard a little bit about your strategy. I guess I'm just curious, what has your experience been with Blue Guardian Futures so far? How does it stand up to other firms, and would you recommend it to any new traders?
Yeah. All right. So to be very honest, I was quite sketchy on seeing Blue Guardian. The how did I figure out something Blue Guardian was there in place? Is one of my friends posted a giveaway, and then I was like, oh, all right, there's a new company that's popping up. Let's go give it a try. So that's how I stumbled upon Blue Guardian, and then I would say if I had nothing less than a good experience, because if at all I have any question, all I have to do is just create a ticket. And when I create a ticket, I always get a reply. And most of the times I ran into some sort of technical problems with the platform itself, the trading platform. And then, sometimes the internet comes and goes. Sometimes the orders doesn't get filled. I know it's all, since I have a tech background, I know it's all because of the database connection, all the backend part, right? So every time I ask a question, even though it might be dumb, the support was actually really good. I would say hands down, I never had a support which was at least close to this level, apart from just 2-3 companies. I can name them, but apart from those two top companies, top 2-3 props, none of the companies gave me this much support. So it was really, really good, because at the end of the day, as a trader, all a trader needs is to get his questions answered. It doesn't matter how dumb it is. We just want answers, because we are already trying to make money out of the charts, and sometimes our brain doesn't work. It's so messed up with the candlesticks. So we need some answers, and the support was really, really good, exceptionally good. And the payout was like, dude, they pay me out in 23 hours, bro.
Awesome.
So it was good. I was expecting, since I was very sketchy about the firm, I was like, all right, they're gonna pay me in like a week or two. It's gonna take forever for me to get that 1,500. But the moment when I realized, when I saw that email on my, the Rice email landed up on my email box within 23 hours, I was like, damn, it's good. It's good to make money.
Definitely.
So it was good. Yeah. So I in fact took the beginner account, because I didn't want to, put all the money, all the eggs in one basket, trying to figure out whether this prop is going to pay me or not, because the entire space is very sketchy.
Yeah.
But the problem that I had with the beginner account was it was a daily breach if I hit the daily loss limit. So since I was very used to trading bigger figures, like my risk on a 150K account will be $3,000, because my buffer will be more than that in my funded accounts, or else I would risk like 1,500. I'll put like 2-3 minis and then have a 20-30 point stop. It's still lesser than $2,000. But with here, it's 1,250, and that's a hard breach. It was quite hard for me to accept the fact, and then the money management kicked in. So this payout from Blue Guardian is one of the payouts that I feel very proud about, even after becoming profitable, because this account has an roller coaster ride. If possible, put my equity curve up. try to put the equity curve here. It will show you all the emotions that I went, because
Uh-huh.
I had some personal issues happening again during this phase of my life in the February. And damn, bro, it goes like from here, dips, goes up, dips, goes up, dips. So it was very hard. And once I took the bailout, I was like, damn, that was worth it, bro.
Yeah,
It made me feel
absolutely.
complete. Yeah, it's not the money that I made. It's the result of uh, being disciplined and honest to you to a certain extent. Because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're gonna mess it up at some time. Just to keep those all the messes at a very bare minimum level, you'll be fine in trading. Because again, it's a probability game, right?
Yeah, true traders are tested in drawdown too. I think that's something, I always
Yeah.
tell people that ask me about drawdown. That's not something that you can understand without being there yourself. That's an experience and you have to build the calluses. And so, yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
feels great clawing yourself out of drawdown and then hitting a payout.
Yeah. I kind of trade my evaluations in a different way, and then my life funded accounts in a very different way, because
Yeah,
I firmly believe evaluations are either meant to pass it or
I
to
agree.
fail.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point in wasting time when you have the money to afford maybe 10 more evaluations.
100%.
When I look at the stat for my Blue Guardian, it's been with me for almost 45 days.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't even risk more than $100 in my trade, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, when you look at it, mathematically, I only get 1250 of drawdown for a day. So it doesn't make sense for me to risk 500. I only risk like 100 or 200. If I take 2, 3 losses, that's it, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So after the first payout, I was so disciplined. So until now, I haven't had a bad day which costed me more than 300. And then my best day is at 1,200, 1,300. That was today. It was a good
Mm-hmm.
day.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my last question for you would be, what are your advice to traders that are looking to achieve payouts and find the consistency that you found?
If you're looking, yeah, that's a very good question. So my answer to that would be, if you are looking to make a payout, you're not going to make a payout. Trust me. I've been there. I've done that. I've been there. There are a lot of companies which makes you trade 5 days, $200 each or $100 each, minimum profitable day. I've been there. I've been super close. I had 4 days in a row, and then the fifth day I blow my entire account up. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're trading your P&L, boom, no, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Cut off all the P&L part. Just trade the charts, trade the
Yep.
structure, and know when to walk out. If you put your ego inside trading, market is going to smash it down. It
Absolutely.
doesn't care about you. It doesn't care whether you're the alpha of your gang or the alpha of your family, or it doesn't care who you are. It will humble you, and the way it humbles you, you will go broke on the streets. So
Mm-hmm.
the only way to become profitable and to make payout is, first, do not look for a payout. Trade the structure. Have faith in your strategy. If you don't have faith in your strategy, then you don't have a strategy. This is what I always tell my audience, my fellow friends, my followers who are actually following me. I tell them, you should know the win rate of your strategy.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me now, I know my win rate of my strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I have 3 different strategies that I play depending on the market conditions. And I only trade one strategy on my live account. I implement all the other two on my evaluations. I know the win rate for them. I know how many losses I can take. And your strategy should be there in your fingertips. You need to know this is the win rate. And the worst case scenario, let's say, for instance, if your win rate, you have 70% win rate, then you're probably going to take 3 losses. If you cannot lose, and these could be back to back, like 3 consecutive losses. If you
Mm-hmm.
cannot take 3 consecutive losses and go to bed happily, then you should cut your size down. Even after that, if you're not able to accept the risk and move on, bro, you're not built for trading.
Mm-hmm.
So manage your emotions, risk only the money that you can lose. And the one other thing that I always tell my students is, if you're planning to, everybody says, you need to have a set amount of loss limit per day, like a daily loss limit for
Yeah.
yourself, maybe $100 or $200. Yes, totally cool. But if you just have $100 as a daily loss limit and you don't make 200 in a day, like your average win, then at the end of the month you won't be profitable.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're restricting your losses to a definite size, you need to restrict your profits to a definite size. When you look at it in terms of business, it's like your losses are your expenses. When you spend more and your revenue is lesser, at the end of the day, you'll either be at break even or maybe $1 or $2 in profit.
Mhm.
So when you do that math in the paper and then execute it, boom, that's all you have to do is just trust your model, execute it, and do not pray for the trade to go to TP.
Mhm.
Don't put prayers. Don't pray for the trade to run in your favor, because if you do so, then you don't have a model. If you have a model, you will never pray whether it goes to TP or not. It's just another fucking trade. If it's a
Exactly.
stop loss, yeah, it's a stop
I think
loss.
that detachment is probably the biggest thing in trading. Like when you
Yeah,
can actually detach and just let the system work and get into that flow of just execute, outcome is whatever it is. That's where the
yeah,
consistency lies. And yeah, I can tell you've achieved
exactly.
that. And that's what it takes. I mean, that's what everybody that's watching the video should be striving for. For those that want to find consistency, it lies in your ability to just detach from the outcome and consistently execute your model. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think this was an awesome conversation. I can tell you're a great dude, and I hope to see more payouts from you. Love to watch the
yeah.
consistency
I'm
and
gonna
progress, man.
spam the server, bro.
Awesome.
I'm gonna spam the server with payouts.
Awesome. Keep it up, bro. Nice to meet you, and have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you, bro. Have a good one.
You too, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, peace.